We not about to settle for last place, and we not about to talk our women into settling for last place, and we not about to be guilt tripping our women into accepting last place because we're okay with last place. We shouldn't be okay with last place, and we're not going to keep on getting last place. It's time for us to stand up as the Black American and sit up there and take our place back in the world, and we're not about to keep being last place every year forever. Okay? Let that sink into y'all head, so-called Black American. Think about that. Think about that, because I come from a place of love with y'all. But sometimes you got to give the brothers some tough love. Sometimes our children need tough love. Sometimes we can't get to where we want to be without tough love. It ain't always sweet and nice. All right, so this video is part one in response to several comments that I had just received on a video that I put out called "Why Black Men Look Down on Providing," and I put a link to the video in this video. But you know, so-called Black men, and the way they. The best comparison I could make right now, where Black men stand in the world, in the game of life in the world, is if we were to compare it to basketball, it's like the team that has all the best players on it, but they can't win a game. It's the worst team, but they have the best individual players on it, right? That's where so-called Black Americans stand in the competition we call life on this planet right now. We like in last place. We in last place, and we have all the ingredients to be the champions. We have all the ingredients to win the championship. But the problem is that we don't work together. We don't work together well. See, we haven't learned how to do teamwork, right? And we've got to learn how to work together. We've got to learn how to work as a team instead of working as individual players. And that's what we do right now. We work as individual players. And no team wins a championship when everybody's working as individual players. Okay? That's why right now we're in the game of life. We're in last place. And so-called Black men are feeling defeated. They see that their girl is walking out on them. And I'm talking about as a group. And instead of getting they stuff together, they trying to guilt trip her into settling for last place. See, the problem with that is that evolution and nature don't work like that. See, evolution and nature don't work like that. And so I'll get to what I mean, but I'm gonna just read off a couple of these comments so you can see really where I'm coming from before I actually do that. So the first group of these comments that I'm gonna respond to are these. Okay. So if all these women on the internet wanted provision, I'd agree with you, but they don't. They want luxury, totally different than being provided for. Okay? All right. And the next comment that's related to this one was, gold digger and want a provider is different, sir. Okay. And the next comment was, it's true a woman is wired to be provided for when it comes to the necessities that she needs to survive in life, not her wants that allow her to keep up with the Joneses. Okay. So those kind of all are going in the same direction. And so what my response to this is that why your woman should not settle and won't settle for provisions. Okay. So for the basic, and when I say provisions, I'm talking about like what this comment said, right? The necessities that she needs to survive, the provisions, okay, right? And she's hardwired to supposedly just be provided provisions, right? Gold digger and wanting a provider is different, sir. Okay. First of all, if they were to settle for what so-called Black American men who are at the absolute bottom of the world right now, right? If they were to settle for what our so-called Black American men are giving them, right? We would have, as Black American men, no incentive to lift ourselves up and get ourselves out of last place. In last place in what? In the game of life on this planet. Okay? Because everybody, we're in last place. And we just have to accept that. And we have to understand where we stand. Because the only way you get out of where you're at is by knowing where you're at. Right? It's like a kid who wants to win the championship and he wants to get all the benefits that come along with winning the championship. He wants to get the pretty girl at the end because, but he's not willing to put in the work and he doesn't have the discipline to do what he has to do to win the championship. See, that's what so-called Black American men as a group are going through. See, we want all the benefits of being the champion, but we're not willing to do what we got to do to be the champion. Okay? See? So when we can relate it to other things, it might be easier to understand. See? Because Mike Tyson, right? Floyd Mayweather, they didn't get all the benefits, right? Back in the day, Mike Tyson was worth $300-400 million. He was like, Mayweather back in the day. We all know what Mayweather's doing. He's doing about the same right now, or probably maybe better. I don't know, but we all know he's got a lot of money, right? Right? We all know that he gets the benefits of being the champion, of being. We all know he gets that. And how did he get that? He didn't get that, see, because if he was the same guy in the same body, right? But he was broke, living in the projects, not doing good, right? Not doing nothing with himself, then guess what? He wouldn't get nothing. He wouldn't have all them pretty girls, right? He wouldn't have all them women sitting up there being so subservient and yes, sir, and whatever you need, sir. He wouldn't have that. The reason he got that, the reason he got the top women is because he was willing to put in the work. He had the discipline to put in the work, and he won the championship as a result of his discipline and as a result of his hard work. Okay? That's how he got the girls that he gets. He don't get them girls if he don't win the championship. Right? The guy who's ranked last in whatever weight class he's in, the guy who's ranked last, guess what? He don't get those girls. He don't get those girls. He don't get no shiny Rolls Royce, right? He don't get no mansion. He don't get no big paycheck. He don't get no jewelry. He don't get none of that. He don't get none of that. The only way he gets to get any of that any of those prizes, okay, because those are all prizes, right, that come along with the winning the championship. He gets those prizes by what? By discipline, focus, working hard, knowing what his goal is, and moving towards that goal. Okay? If he settles for being in last place, then he gets what last place gets. Okay? Because last place don't get nothing good. Okay? It's not really no different. Right? You don't get the benefits of being the champion without putting in champion level work. Period. Right? Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, they didn't win the championship with the mentality that they could get all the benefits of winning the championship, which includes the most beautiful women, right? Which includes that without developing the discipline and putting in the work. So basically what you're saying is that the woman who has traditionally always been the prize, right? The prize that you get from being the best man, no different from when the lion fights in the jungle, right? It's no different from when the lion fights in the jungle and the top lion wins. The lioness goes with the one who wins. She doesn't go with the loser, right? But we've been brought up on all this Disney Channel nonsense that says, no, the loser should get the girl. That's not how nature works, right? Instead of watching Disney, you need to watch National Geographic. Instead of watching Disney, you need to watch National Geographic because you need to learn how nature works because you're really a part of nature. You just don't know you're a part of nature. And you need to start learning how it works, right? Because it's not no different from when the roosters fight, right? Roosters naturally they can't deal with one woman. They have to have at least 5, maybe 10 women. That's how roosters are. How do I know? Because I raised chickens before, okay? I raised chickens and I raised roosters, and this is just what they do. I'm talking about the wild ones that are not the ones that just sit in the cage and just sit there all day, okay? Right? They fight each other, and whoever wins gets the girls. The loser don't get the girls. Period. And if the winner catches, because sometimes they'll sit up there and the loser will sit up there and try to sneak in and catch one of the little girls while he's out looking for food while he ain't around. And you know what the girls do? When he come and try to sneak in, they start yelling, oh, he's coming, trying to do it to me, and I don't want him. And here come big man, running. And then he beat up that little dude for sitting up there and even trying it. Because this is just what roosters do. It ain't no different from gorillas. The top gorilla is the only one who gets the mate, period. The rest of them gotta beat it off. That's what they got to do. And if you don't want to do that, you got to beat the top dog. Period. Okay? And the winner is the one who gets the girl every time. Okay? The only place the winner don't get the girl and the loser gets the girl is on the Disney Channel. That's the only place. Right? Is on these movies, is in Hollywood. Right? Because outside of Hollywood, in nature, you're never going to see that. Y'all don't think you're a part of nature. You are a part of nature. Right? You're saying when you say these things like these comments had said, what you're saying is that our women should settle for last place. And that's not how nature works. They tricked you into thinking she is not the prize and you're the prize. I ain't never seen nobody win the championship belt, and then you get the woman, you get her. she doesn't go with the loser. She goes with the winner. So that makes her the prize. They tricked you out of thinking that through all this Hollywood and Disney nonsense, right? You might be your mama's prize, and you are your mama's prize, but that's the only woman who thinks you a prize is your mama, right? Is your mama. And this is part of the problem because we ain't getting raised by nothing but mamas. See? So we ain't had the man up in there, right? Mama treating him like he the prize. Now he think he the prize. You not the prize, right? Because if daddy was up in that house, daddy would have whooped that out of you. Daddy would have disciplined that out of you. He would have corrected you. He would have moved you in the right way, right? But for lots of different reasons, whole nother video, he ain't raised you. Why? Because 80% of us is getting raised by single mamas. You her baby boy. You her prize. You her pride and joy. She taught you that you were so special no matter what. Right? But men don't teach their sons that you so special no matter what. Why? Because we know better than that. We know if we get a flat tire on the side of the road, ain't nobody pulling over to help us. We better learn how to change that tire. Right? That's what we know. That's what we know. We know that if a woman gets a flat tire, 20 different men are going to pull over to try to help her. The better she looks, the more men are going to pull over. Period. That's just the way it works. Right? See, we know this, but we don't get raised like this because we've been raised in this society where everybody's just equal and we can't see the differences between men and women no more. Right? A man teaches his son how the world works for men because the world don't work the same as it do for men as it do for women. A man teaches his son what he must develop, that he must develop some type of discipline to get the things he wants out of life. Because ain't nobody about to just come hand it to him unless it's your mama and daddy. And eventually they're going to get tired of that too. And you're going to have to one day go get it on your own. You're going to have to go do that. A man is going to teach his son discipline, okay, to get the things he wants in life. That's the reason why we go to the gym, right? One of the ways a man teaches his son discipline is to go to the gym. Because you start out as skinny and scrawny and can't lift nothing, and you got a goal in mind, and you keep going, and you go through that pain because it's painful at first, especially at first, to go to the gym. It's painful. And then you got to go sit up there and look bad in front of everybody, right? You got to be lifting up little. I remember when I took my son to the gym for the first time, he had to start on the bar on bench press. He had to start on the bar. He was 12 years old, 13 years old at the time, right? He didn't want to start on the bar. He wanted to add weights because he felt like he was too embarrassed to start on the bar. But he wasn't ready to start on anything but the bar. So I had to talk him out of hindering his own development by trying to bite off more than he can chew. And he eventually listened to me. He ain't had no choice. He ain't had no choice but to listen to me. And he was going to sit up there and do it. But see, that's what I'm saying, right? Because as he started getting stronger and stronger, and then he started seeing the difference in his body, right? See, I didn't have to push stardom no more. He started wanting to do it on his own, right? For that reason, when a woman sees a nice body, right? She sees a man with a nice body. She's attracted to that man. And we think it's men, oh, it's because the body looks good. But see, women are different from us. And we don't understand that. We don't understand their nature. And we don't understand that they different from us. They look at a nice body and they don't use their eyes like we do. Like we see that big old booty. We see that big old chest. That's how we do it. We see that pretty face. When we see a nice body, we thinking sex, right? Because that's how we think. We thinking procreate, give, because that's our nature, to give, right? Give it to her. Spread my seed. That's how we see it. Oh, that look awful comfortable. That look awful good. That's where I want to spread. That's how we see it, right? But women don't see it like that, right? Because they have to, that seed that you running around spreading, right? They have to raise that seed and you're supposed to help her raise it, right? But if you go away, she's stuck. She can't disappear. She can't have the baby and just disappear. She's stuck with that baby. Everybody know it's hers. She know it's hers, right? You might not know it's yours, but she know it's hers. She's stuck with that baby. Whether you stay or leave. Right? So since she's stuck with that baby, she wants to make sure that she's having a baby by somebody who's going to be able to help take care of her so that she can raise that child in the manner that she wants to raise that child. Okay? So when she sees that nice body, she don't look at it like you look at it as, oh, she's attracted to him, sex. She's not looking at it like that. She's looking at it like, okay, he's a provider. He might not even be a provider yet, but he has what it takes to be a provider. Why? Because the people who provide the best are the ones who have the most discipline. And having a nice body is evidence that you have discipline. See, that's what she's seeing. She's seeing a provider. You guys don't know that though. Why? Because you don't really know women. Right? She's naturally attracted to a provider. He might not have money yet. That's why they'll talk to a dude with a nice body, but he don't have much money. And you guys are like, oh, it's just because he's so fit and everything. She like his body. Yeah, she does like his body, but for it, what for? Because it's evidence that he has discipline. And when you have discipline, you can be a provider. And he might not have that money yet. That's why the little girls in high school, ain't nobody got no job in high school. They are, well, you got some people with jobs in high school, but I'm just saying, in ain't nobody like, money ain't what the thing. It's not about the money in high school. It ain't about the money till you get out of school, right? It ain't about the money until you really get out of school, typically, right? So what I'm saying is that's why they go for those men. That's why they go for that football player who has the big body and strong muscles. Why? Because he's shown that he has discipline. And when you show that you have discipline, they're automatically attracted to you. Why? Because when you have discipline, that means you have what it takes to be a provider. You might not be the provider just yet because you're still in school. You still learning. You ain't graduated yet, right? But you got what it takes. And that's why they do that. That's why they'll get with their high school sweetheart who was the football player. That's why the cheerleader wants the star quarterback. For these reasons. Right? These things don't just work like this with people. It works like this in nature. Right? We haven't always had cars and houses and fancy things and factories and all this shopping malls and restaurants and all of that. We didn't always have that, right? There's people who to this day don't have that, right? We can go to some tribes in Africa and they running around butt naked, happy, right? happy, doing their thing. They ain't got that. Because why? Because they living in nature. But they eat. They can build their houses, they little huts and stuff that they live in, right? It's primitive. But what I'm saying is that they're still part of nature. Whereas we have grown so far out of nature that we don't think we're part of nature anymore. But we are part of nature. Okay? So you want the woman to settle for provisions, just enough to survive. And if she's not willing to do that, then she's a gold digger and she don't want you for you. When the fact is that out of all the people in the world, Black Americans remain in last place. Right? We remain in last place. The Black Africans got a nation to give they women. The Jamaicans got Jamaica to give they women. The Trinidadians got Trinidad to give they women. The Belizeans got Belize to give they women. Right? The Ghanaians got Ghana to give they women. I can go down on and on. So you can't use your skin color as an excuse on why you can't do it. Oh, that's because I'm Black. And that's not it. It's because y'all ain't organized and y'all ain't coming together and y'all ain't got a plan. That's what the problem is. So as a result of you being in last place, you want your woman to settle for last place. But your woman is sitting up here like, well, you're supposed to be the provider. You're the one who's supposed to be giving me everything. You're the one who's supposed to be, if I look at all the other animals on the planet, the man gives the woman. Lions, tigers, and bears. It don't matter. Pick an animal. They all provide for their woman. Chickens provide for their women. Okay? And not only that, all the other races of the world provide homes, which are nations, and everything else for their women. So you want her to settle for last place because Black Americans are in last place when it comes to the game of life right now. When she watches white people, when she watches the Asians, when she watches the Arabs, when she watches the Africans, when she watches the Black people from the Caribbean and many other groups of people all throughout the world give their women nations of their own, first of all, they watch our women, they watch all these people throughout the world govern themselves, police themselves, judge themselves, jail themselves, and feed themselves, right? Our women who got eyes too, they don't see any of these groups of people marching, holding up signs saying, oh, we matter too. She don't see that out of there. Nobody in the world holds up signs saying we matter too. What about us? That means you're in last place. When you got to hold up a sign saying we matter, that means you're in last place. And you don't think she see that? Every time something happened to you, what do? Let's go pick up a sign and we'll go march up the street and tell everybody, hey, guys, we matter. I mean, it's degrading. It makes you sound weak when you say that. It makes you sound like you're pleading with the authority. Oh, big authority, please. I matter too. Please. Can you please treat me like I matter too? They got eyes. Our women got eyes. And you think they're going to settle for last place because you aren't willing to do what you have to do? Which is what? Stop being the only group of people on the entire planet. I'd understand if it was another group, but we're the only group of people on the entire planet that do not govern themselves, police themselves, judge themselves, jail themselves, feed themselves, and give they woman a nation of their own. We the only ones. We the only group of people out of 195 different groups of people across there's 195 different nations, all different people. They all got their own names, and we the only ones who don't do those things. Right? And you think she don't see that. You think you think she don't see all these other groups of men across the world giving they women skyscrapers, yachts, jets, exotic cars, resorts, beachfront resorts, right? Casinos. Women like to go shopping. What do the other groups of men give they women? Entire shopping malls, amusement parks, basketball stadiums, football stadiums, mansions. This is what they do. A nation to call home. She not only sees them give their women these things, she sees these other groups of people manufacture and own the companies that make all of the things that all of these other groups of men across the world give they women. Y'all think she ain't got eyes. And you wonder why she acting crazy, because she sees all of this. And you the only group of people who not doing it. The men are men. So you think our women are supposed to watch all of the men throughout the world give their women all these things, including modern cities built for them on our land. Okay? Which is what we don't know. And then you expect them to turn around and settle for provisions? No, they're not going to do that. And they shouldn't do that. Why should they do that? Because if they do that, you're going to stay in last place forever. If they do that, see, they lighting a fire under your ass because you ain't giving them the things that everybody else in the world is giving them. You in last place, right? You like the worst team in the basketball league. You the worst team. And you losing your girl because your contract just got cut in half and you got the worst contract out the group. And now she's sitting up here looking at these other people like, damn, they over here making millions. They over here doing the thing. They over here and you, what are you doing? You don't even want to take care of me. You want me to take care of you. And it don't matter how we got to be the losing team. What matters is that it's time to pick ourselves back up. Okay, yeah, we are. So wait. So we raised by 80% single mothers. Okay, got it. Check. So what are we going to do about it? It's time to get organized and get on the same team and have a plan and get back. We're not going to just stay in last place. If you comfortable settling for last place, right? Because you want to be a loser right now, right? Not all of us, because we got some winners out there who's trying to sit up here and get things together. But it's a whole lot of us who's really being losers right now. Okay? It's time for the losing team, which has the most talent out of all the teams, to get its act together and to start winning again. We are settling as so-called black men, black Americans, and our women are no longer okay with that. Why? Because they're getting exposed. They used to be shut out too. But see, they're not getting shut out like we. See, it used to be all black people were just shut out. Now what's happening? Well, the powers that be have opened the door to so-called black women. And they said, come on in. Come on in. Right? And the black women's like, oh, okay, let's go in. And now she's making all the money. Now she's doing her thing. And we sitting up here like, okay, they done opened the door for her, but they didn't open the door for us. And she can't understand because she think just because they opened the door for her means they opened the door for everybody. When we know that's not the case. We know they didn't open the door for us. We know they ain't opened the door for us, and it still ain't open for us. We know that. So what are we going to do about it? Keep waiting for somebody to open the door for you, or go open the door yourself? They don't want you to let you in their door, then go make your own door. See, we got to change our mentality and how we think, because if we don't get our act together, just like the lion, okay, who loses his woman to the stronger male, we can either get our strength back and come back and fight another day in an attempt to get our woman back, and in an attempt to do what every other group on the planet does for their women. And you can't say it's because you look, if I go to Africa, there's all kind of African cities. They got skyscrapers in Africa. They got jets in Africa. This is what they give their women. Now, do they have it all together? No, but they not in last place. We got to get out of last place. We in last place and getting mad because our women don't want to settle for last place. She's not going to want to do that. And then we saying, no, you should just be okay with provisions. What's she going to be okay with provisions for? I'm not okay with provisions. I'm not okay with provisions. And you shouldn't be okay with provisions. If I'm losing and I don't got nothing, then I'm doing everything I can to win again. That's what I do. And I've been on a roller coaster of life. I've been at the top of the world and on the bottom of the world. I done drove Maybachs and I've been homeless. Okay? So you're not going to tell me how you can't, when I done sit up here and did it more than once. And came out of some of the hardest situations you can ever come out of. Why? Because I stayed focused, right? And if you can do something on an individual level, then you can do it on a group level. But when you're doing it on a group level, everybody got to be on the same team. And when everybody's not on the same team, even if you have the best players, you're going to lose against an inferior team. We're either going to get this thing together or we're going to lose our women, just like the loser in nature loses his woman. That's what's going to happen to us, right? We can either get back in the gym and start training again to go win the heavyweight championship that we lost, okay? Because what y'all don't know is you used to be the heavyweight champ. You used to be that. You used to run the whole world. So-called Black Americans used to run the whole world, but we've been denied that knowledge, which is part of our problem, because we don't know who we are. We think we're slaves from Africa. And we don't know that America belongs to us. We don't even know that. It's our land. We don't know that because we think we're from Africa. You got to stop thinking and stop letting other groups of people, which are like other teams in football and basketball, talk you into thinking that she's going to watch the so-called white man floss his stolen wealth, right? And they showing you, when I say the other teams, I'm talking about the other teams when they put out there, because they own Hollywood. The other teams own Hollywood. The other teams own social media. The other teams own the television stations, right? You got to stop letting these other groups of people, which are like other football or basketball teams, talk you into thinking that she's going to just watch so-called white men, so-called Asian men floss all of this stuff on floss, because that's what they're doing now. They flossing it on us now, right? For everybody to see, and she's going to sit back and just settle for provisions. They're going to have their little TV shows where they out there on yachts and doing their thing and having their little dating shows where it's only one black person and 20 white people, and they out on in the luxury Bahamas out there having, you don't, she gonna just watch all this? All you gotta do is turn on the TV and start changing the channel. Get on social media, get on Instagram. She gonna watch all this, get flossed in her face and say, no, but no, that's not in the woman's nature. A woman is a nest builder. She's going to want the best nest. That's what women want. That's what women want. If we were living just perfectly right now, she would be getting with her high school sweetheart. She would be getting with the person who's in school, right? That's where all these things used to kind of, that's where all these things used to kind of settle at. People would get with the person who, they went to college with, who they went to high school with, before anybody had any money. And then afterwards, we find out what you was worth, right? And all you had was the indicators to see, okay, this guy's the star football player. He's got all these muscles. He's disciplined. He works hard. He's probably going to make it in life. And that's how they used to roll the dice. You think that they were still rolling they were still doing it. It's just they didn't see the evidence yet. So they was making calculated decisions back then. See, they was doing the same thing. It's not like, there was this magical time like Disney where they had the princess kissed the frog. It didn't happen like that. She ain't never want no frog. That's some bull crap. She wants the prince. She wants the top one she can get. And if there's no money involved, she wants the top one she can get. And then afterwards, we're going to roll the dice and see if she made the right decision. That's what it is. She ain't about to sit up here and settle. You shouldn't be settling. This is just how evolution works. This is your indicator. The relationship problems you having right now, so-called Black American, this is your indicator that it's time to get up from that whooping you took. Okay? It's time to get back in the gym. It's time to get back to training. It's time to get a new plan. And it's time to get up and go fight again. Okay? No more marches. Okay? No more begging. No more making yourself look like less than a man. It's time to stand up. First of all, okay, because you don't need no woman until you stand up and get your act together. First of all, that's why most championship fighters, when they're training, they don't even have they stay away from women. Why? Because they trying to get, and then when they win the championship, they get the best women. This is how it works. I mean it. It's time to stand up and give our women what every man on the planet gives their women, which is what? A nation of their own to call home. We must provide for her by governing ourselves. We must provide for her by protecting and policing ourselves. We must provide protection. See, when you police yourselves, that means you're providing protection. Okay? What's a woman attracted to? The protector. We outsource that, right? You have to judge yourself. You have to jail yourself, okay? We can't outsource that to another group of people anymore. We can't do that no more. And then when they don't do it right, we get our marching sticks and carry our signs and say, how come y'all won't treat us right? Because you outsourcing your protection to a whole other group of people who don't even like you. And they told you they don't like you. It ain't new that they don't like you. It'd be one thing if it was new that they don't like you. And some of them do like you, but you don't know who do like you and don't. So every time you get pulled over, you rolling the dice. Is this one of the Klan members who just left his Klan meeting who's pulling me over? We don't know. See, you rolling the dice when you outsource your protection to another group of people, when you know out of that other group of people, there's a certain percentage of them who do not mess with you, period. And they openly told you that up until the 1960s. They openly told it to you out on TV. The only reason they don't openly say it anymore is why? Because they know they're not allowed to do that no more. But that don't mean they don't feel it. That don't mean the Klan didn't go nowhere. You think it just up and disappeared? I mean, you're foolish if you think that. We got to feed ourselves. Whenever a nation is trying, and we are a nation, we just don't know we're a nation because we're the only ones who don't have a nation. Whenever a nation is trying to get back on track, the first thing it does is isolate itself. We have to isolate ourselves. It ain't no different from the championship fighter when he's trying to get back in the ring and win his championship back. He got to isolate himself. He got to train. He got to focus. He can't be distracted and doing all this other stuff. We got to isolate ourselves first, right? That's how we're going to start to get our nation back, right? Not some new arbitrary nation that we just starting out from scratch. See, I'm talking about the nation that was stolen from us on July 4th. See, every time you celebrate July 4th, you celebrating the theft of your nation. Right? That's what I'm talking about. July 4th, 1830. Okay? And I'm talking about as a result of the Trail of Tears. Andrew Jackson put your ancestors on and committed genocide against you. Okay? This didn't happen to so-called Red Indians. The Red Indians was helping Andrew Jackson. Okay? This happened to so-called black people, black Americans. And this is when your land was stolen from you. Okay? It's almost 200 years now. The first step is to taking our place back in the world. Which if we do that, see, this is the key. If we do that, our women will fall in line real quick. Real quick. Just like when you see, oh, good. Just like you sitting up there focused. You a boxer and nobody knows about you. You a rapper and nobody knows who you are. But you got the tightest lyrics of anybody and you know it and you so focused in doing your job and then the Mike Jones happened to you. Back then they ain't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. See, that's what'll happen to y'all if you finally just sit up there and do what you gotta do. You're gonna look back and then you're gonna be like having your Mike Jones moment. It's time to have your Mike Jones moment. So-called black American, quit worrying about what she doing. We ain't gotta worry about what she doing. We gotta worry about what we doing. Cause she gonna come get in line based off of what we doing. And you should know that. Based off of what Mike Jones just told you. The first step in taking our place back in the world, we gotta start finding out who we are. We gotta find out our real history. We gotta stop the division against each other. We gotta organize. Right? We gotta organize. And we gotta have a plan. And some of us have a plan. And the best of our minds need to start getting together and coming up with a plan. I got a plan. We're going to put this thing together. Keep watching the channel. Go to the website. Go to lostalongtheway.org. We can get our nation back. I know how to get our nation back. But the first step is to find out who we really are and our real history and to know that we're not slaves from Africa. We need to know where we're really from, first of all, right? Go to lostalongtheway.org and let's get our place, get our nation back, get our place in the world back. Let's get our place in the world back. Our women shouldn't be lowering their standards so we can just sit back and be content with being in last place. So-called Black American. We have to raise our standards as men. Okay? We got to get rid of the excuses. Have we taken a whooping as so-called Black Americans? Absolutely. Have we taken a whooping? Did we get knocked out in front of everybody? Absolutely. But now it's time to lick our wounds, get back in the gym, start training again, and go get back in the get back in the game. We got last place last year, okay? We lost last year. We got last place. We got humiliated. Our woman's walking out on us, okay? Guess what happened when you get your stuff back together? Oh, she all of a sudden come back. That's what happened. Now it's time to go out and win the championship game again, okay? We got the best team. It'd be one thing. We got the best team. We just got to get back on track and start winning again. And not settle for last place. Because we over here on social media trying to get our women to settle for provisions. Provisions go to last place. The luxury go to first place. She don't want last place provisions. She want first place luxury. She want to fly first class. And we should want to fly her first class. That's what we got to do. She gonna follow the leader. Start leading. All y'all masculine alpha red pills. It's time to lead. We got to organize. Get our stuff together. Organization. Okay? Follow the plan. Follow the leader. Get it together. We got the best talent on. We got the most talent on our team. We're not about to settle for last place, and we're not about to talk our women into settling for last place, and we're not about to be guilt tripping our women into accepting last place because we're okay with last place. We shouldn't be okay with last place, and we're not going to keep on getting last place. It's time for us to stand up as the Black American and sit up there and take our place back in the world, and we're not about to keep being last place every year forever. Okay? Let that sink into y'all head, so-called Black American. Think about that. Because I come from a place of love with y'all. But sometimes you got to give the brothers some tough love. Sometimes our children need tough love. Sometimes we can't get to where we want to be without tough love. It ain't always sweet and nice. Sometimes you got to get hurt in order to figure out some shit and what to do next. And we done been hurt. It's time to get up, organize, get our shit together. Go back to the gym, get to training, and get up and get in the fight again. Okay? Think about what I'm telling you, so-called Black American. Peace and love.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.